Every morning I wake up without pain, without pills, and with a peaceful heart. I am 94 years old and I still live alone. I do my own cooking, sweep my porch, and even tend to my garden. People often ask me, "What's your secret?" And the truth is, there is no magic. Just 5 simple morning habits that I started many years ago and stayed consistent with. Now I know if you are listening to this, you might be dealing with morning stiffness, fatigue, or a foggy mind. Maybe your doctor told you that's just aging, but I am here to tell you they are wrong. You do not have to live that way. Today, I am going to share the exact 5 things I do every single morning that have kept me not just surviving, but thriving. Without any medications, without any fancy routines. And these are habits any woman, no matter your age, can start tomorrow morning.
One of these habits helped my friend regain her balance and stop needing a walker. Another completely changed how I sleep at night, and the third one made me feel more mentally sharp than I have in decades. If you give me just a few minutes of your time today, I promise to give you back something even better: hope, strength, and a plan you can actually follow. 1. The one glass of water that changed everything. Let me ask you a question. How do you start your morning? For years, my day began like many women my age. Wake up stiff, shuffle to the kitchen, pour a cup of coffee, and hope the fog in my head would clear by mid-morning. But that fog, that stiffness, that heaviness, it was not just aging, it was dehydration, and it was silently making things worse every single morning. I learned this when I was 75. That year, I started getting dizzy spells. My fingers would feel swollen and my knees ached before I even stood up. My doctor said that is just what happens in your 70s, but deep down I did not accept that. I started reading, digging, asking questions, and what I found shocked me. We lose nearly 1 liter of water every night just through breathing and skin evaporation. That is about 4 full cups, and yet what do most of us do? The moment we wake up, we reach for coffee, which actually dehydrates us further. It is like trying to drive your car with no oil.
Studies from Johns Hopkins Medicine have shown that even mild dehydration in people over 65 can reduce brain function by over 25%. It also increases inflammation, which makes joint pain worse and can even accelerate aging in the brain. That was enough to make me change. So I began a simple ritual, and I have not skipped it in nearly 20 years. Here's what I do. Every night before I go to bed, I pour a glass of room temperature water, 16 ounces to be exact. I add just a pinch of natural sea salt. Not table salt, not flavored powder, just a pinch of mineral-rich salt. And when I wake up, before coffee, before breakfast, before I even talk to anyone, I drink it all. That one step, just 30 seconds, changed how my entire day feels. Within the first few mornings, I noticed my knees felt smoother, my hands less swollen, and my thoughts were clearer before 8 o'clock. Why the salt? Because your body needs electrolytes to absorb the water at the cellular level. The small amount of salt helps your cells pull in the hydration, restoring balance faster. This process is called osmotic absorption, and it is critical after 8 hours of fasting and fluid loss. For those who do not love plain water first thing, I sometimes add a small squeeze of lemon, but no sugar, no honey, and no juice. Anything sweet can trigger an insulin response that interferes with your body's ability to reset metabolically. Now, let me tell you about my friend Mary Lou. She is 82, lives down the street, and had been dealing with daily headaches and occasional faint spells. Her doctor gave her blood pressure medication, but nothing worked.
One afternoon, I told her about this little water ritual. She laughed, saying that is too simple to make a difference, but she tried it. 3 days later, the headache stopped. A week later, she called me and said, I woke up and stood up without holding on to the wall. Ladies, it is not magic. It is biology. Our bodies are thirsty first thing in the morning, and when we do not listen, they protest with fatigue, pain, and confusion. You deserve better mornings. You deserve energy and clarity, and you can start tomorrow with 1 glass of water and a pinch of salt. So tonight, before bed, fill your glass, set it on your nightstand, make it easy, make it beautiful. Add a slice of lemon if you like, and in the morning, before anything else, drink deeply. It is one act of love for your body, and I promise it will love you right back.
2. Let the light in. How morning sunlight restores balance and joy.
Do you remember when mornings used to feel fresh, when the sun came through your curtains and you felt ready to take on the day? I remember, and I remember when that feeling started to fade.
In my 70s, even though I was sleeping the same hours, I started waking up tired. I was in bed by 10 o'clock, up by 6 o'clock, but still groggy, still low in mood. I'd sit with my coffee and feel like I was watching the world wake up without me. Then one day, my granddaughter asked a question that changed everything. She said, "Grandma, why don't you ever sit on the porch in the morning anymore?" That hit me. I used to love that time, the light, the quiet, the birds, but somewhere along the way, I'd stopped stepping outside first thing. I was too busy, too tired, too distracted, and I didn't realize what I had been missing. Let me tell you what I've since learned and why every woman over 60 needs to hear this. Your body runs on a rhythm, a natural clock called the circadian rhythm, and it does not just affect sleep. It controls over 150 functions in your body: hormones, digestion, immune health, mood, even how well your body repairs itself overnight. But here is the key. That clock has to be reset every day, and the reset switch is sunlight. Not just any light, not a lamp, not your kitchen overheads, but real outdoor morning light. Studies from Stanford and the University of Colorado show that just 10 to 15 minutes of morning sunlight can boost serotonin, the feel-good brain chemical, by over 40%. That same light also tells your brain to stop making melatonin, which helps you wake up naturally and sets the stage for better sleep that same night. And it is not just about sleep. Serotonin also affects mood, appetite, digestion, and even how connected we feel to the people around us.
I did not know any of this when I was 77 and feeling low. I just knew that I missed feeling awake. That's when I started my morning porch ritual again. Here's what I do and what I hope you'll try. Every morning, within 30 minutes of waking, I step outside. Sometimes I bring my tea, sometimes I just breathe. I stand or sit quietly for 10 to 15 minutes. No sunglasses, no glasses if I can help it, and I let the light hit my eyes. It is important the light enters through your eyes, not just your skin, because special receptors in your retina signal your brain to reset your internal clock. Without that signal, your body stays in sleep mode all day long. That is why artificial lights in indoor windows do not have the same effect. Even on cloudy days, the light outside is strong enough to do the job. And if it's cold, I wrap up in a shawl and go anyway. I've even done it in the rain under my porch roof just to get that light. Let me share the story of my dear friend Dolores. She is 81 and has struggled with insomnia for years. She tried melatonin, teas, even prescription sleep aids, but nothing truly worked. One Sunday after church, I told her about my sunlight habit. She laughed at first, saying, I don't think sitting on the porch is going to fix my sleep, but I asked her to try it for 1 week. That Friday, she called me. I fell asleep last night at 9:30, and I didn't wake up until 6. I haven't done that in a decade. Since then, she's started taking her coffee outside each morning and says it is now her favorite part of the day.
Ladies, we grew up in a generation that often told us to stay busy, stay productive, stay inside, but our bodies are wiser than that. They need the rhythm of nature, and we are never too old to reconnect with it. So tomorrow, open that front door, step out, even just for a few minutes. Let the sunlight touch your face. Let your eyes take in the morning. It is not just light, it is life. And if you listen closely, you might even hear your body whisper, "Thank you."
3. Just 4 minutes to keep your mind sharp. The morning brain ritual that changed everything.
I want to ask you something from the heart. Have you ever walked into a room and forgotten why you were there, or stood in the kitchen staring at the fridge, wondering what you were about to do? I have, and I will tell you, when it first started happening to me, it scared me. Because as women, we carry so much in our minds: names, dates, memories, to-do lists, and when those little slips start happening more often, it feels like something precious is slipping away.
But here's the truth. Your brain is not broken. It is just underused in the wrong way at the wrong time. What I discovered in my late 70s saved me years of worry, and it only takes 4 minutes every morning. Let me explain. Right after you wake up, your brain is in a unique state scientists call plastic, which means it is more open to forming new connections. You have higher levels of something called BDNF, a natural brain fertilizer that helps neurons grow, connect, and repair. This window of brain opportunity only lasts a short while in the morning. If you miss it, it closes. If you use it wisely, you can strengthen your memory, clarity, and even protect against long-term decline.
So what do most people do first thing in the morning? Scroll on their phones, watch the news, sit in silence with their worries. But what if instead you gave your brain just 4 minutes of purposeful, joyful engagement?
I call it my morning mind tune-up, and I have done it every day since I turned 70. It looks like this.
1 minute. Solve a simple math problem. Maybe it is 23 plus 18 or 5 times 6. Keep it easy but not automatic. This wakes up your logical brain.
1 minute. Recall a detailed memory. Close your eyes and remember your wedding day, or the scent of your mother's kitchen, or your child's first Christmas. Try to picture the scene, the faces, the sounds.
1 minute, learn 4 new words. You can read them in a book, on a calendar, or from a list. Say them aloud and use one in a sentence. This strengthens your language center.
1 minute. Visualize your day. Picture yourself moving through the morning, calm, strong, joyful. Visualize success. This boosts your executive brain and emotional resilience.
That's it. Just 4 minutes, and yet the impact is remarkable. I used to forget names in church. Now I remember people I met years ago. I used to fumble with words. Now I feel clear and confident. I used to feel uncertain about the day ahead. Now I walk into it with purpose.
And this is not just my experience. My friend Carolyn, she's 88 and recovering from a hip replacement, kept up this practice even when she could not do physical therapy. Her doctor said her mental recovery was unusually strong for her age. It works because it is simple, gentle, and consistent. You do not need apps or puzzles or fancy subscriptions, just a notepad, a quiet space, and 4 minutes of loving attention to the most powerful organ in your body, your mind.
I keep a small journal by my breakfast chair. I call it my morning brain garden. Each day I plant something new, and over time it has bloomed into clarity, confidence, and even joy. So tomorrow, take those 4 minutes before the noise, before the chores, before the world asks for anything from you. Give something to your mind. You're not losing your memory, you're reclaiming it 1 minute at a time. 4. Move with grace. The gentle morning routine that keeps you independent. Let me tell you a little secret. It is not youth that keeps you independent, it is mobility. The ability to get out of a chair without pain, to bend down and pick something up without fear, to walk across your kitchen or your garden with confidence. And I will tell you this, not everyone over 80 can do that, but you can. And it starts with how you move in the first 30 minutes of your day.
I used to believe, like many women, that stretching was the best way to wake up the body. I had an old VHS tape with yoga poses from the 90s. I'd reach for my toes, twist my back, roll my neck, and wonder why I felt worse afterward. Then, at 86, I started feeling pinches in my lower back. Getting up from the couch became harder. One morning, I lost my balance trying to put on socks, and that scared me. So I went to a physical therapist who specialized in older women, and what she told me changed everything.
She said, the stretches you did in your 40s are no longer helping. In fact, they may be harming. Here's why. As we age, our joints lose moisture, our connective tissues become less flexible, and our spine becomes more sensitive to certain types of pressure and twisting. What worked decades ago can now cause small tears, inflammation, and instability. But movement is still essential. We just have to move smarter, with purpose, with gentleness, and in a sequence that respects our biology. I now follow what I call my inside-out mobility sequence. It is only 7 minutes long, but it is the reason I can still garden, kneel to pray, and carry my laundry up and down the steps. Let me walk you through it. Step 1. Shoulder circles, 30 seconds. Sit upright in a sturdy chair. Let your arms rest by your sides. Slowly make small circles forward for 15 seconds, then backward for 15 seconds. This increases circulation in your upper body and warms up stiff shoulder joints. Step 2. Seated marching, 1 minute. Stay in your chair, lift one knee, then the other, like a gentle march. Go slowly and breathe deeply. This activates your core and brings blood flow to your hips and legs. Step 3. Doorway chest expansions, 30 seconds. Stand in a doorway with your hands on either side at shoulder height. Gently lean forward until you feel a stretch across your chest. Hold it for 30 seconds. This helps undo the rounded posture we often get from years of caregiving, typing, or hunching over. Step 4. Supported squats, 1 minute. Stand in front of a counter or the back of a sturdy chair, holding on lightly. Bend your knees just a little, only as far as comfortable, then return to standing. Repeat slowly. This strengthens the thighs and glutes, your body's strongest muscles, and key to staying independent. Step 5. Seated ankle circles, 1 minute each foot. Sit again. Lift one foot and slowly circle the ankle clockwise for 30 seconds, then counterclockwise. Repeat on the other foot. These tiny movements improve balance and blood flow and help prevent falls. That is it. 7 gentle minutes. No floor, no mats, no pain. And the result, my joints no longer ache when I wake up. I can carry groceries, lift a grandchild, and move with confidence. And maybe most importantly, I feel powerful in my own body. Let me share the story of Nancy. She is 87 and used to rely on a walker, especially in the mornings.
She thought that was just her new normal. But after just 2 weeks of this mobility sequence, she no longer needed her walker around the house. She said, "I feel like my body finally woke up." Ladies, you do not need to accept stiffness as your destiny. Your body may be older, but it still wants to move. It still wants to serve you. All it needs is a little warmth, a little rhythm, and a little love. So tomorrow morning, before you rush to make breakfast or check your phone, take 7 minutes. Make this your sacred movement, your morning act of self-respect. And remember, mobility is not about vanity, it is about dignity.
5. Feed your strength, the breakfast that keeps you standing tall. Let me ask you something simple but important. What did you eat for breakfast this morning? Toast? A banana? A cup of coffee? Maybe a little jam on an English muffin? Now let me ask something else. Did you feel full of energy afterward, or did you crash by mid-morning and need another cup of coffee just to get going? For years, my breakfast was exactly that, light, sweet, and fast. I thought I was doing the right thing. I believed that as I got older, I needed to eat light in the morning, but I was wrong, and I paid for it with muscle loss, fatigue, and a feeling of weakness I could not explain. What I did not know then is what I want to share with you now because it changed everything for me. After the age of 60, something shifts in your body. Your muscles become resistant to growth, even if you are eating the same amount of protein as before. This is called anabolic resistance. It means your body does not build or maintain muscle as easily. You need more protein, and you need it at the right time. And the most powerful time is first thing in the morning. Researchers at Tufts University found that older adults who consume 25 to 30 grams of high-quality protein within the first hour of waking had stronger grip strength, better balance, and significantly slower muscle loss, regardless of what they ate the rest of the day. This one habit, changing when I ate my protein, helped me keep my strength, my energy, and my ability to do things for myself. So what does this look like? Here's what I eat most mornings: 2 scrambled eggs, half a cup of cottage cheese, and a small cup of green tea. Or, if I am in the mood for something cold, Greek yogurt with protein powder mixed in, a handful of berries, and a few walnuts. Sometimes I make a smoothie with whey protein, almond milk, a spoonful of collagen powder, and a frozen banana. It is delicious and easy to digest. The key is getting at least 25 to 30 grams of protein in one meal, not spread out all day. That concentrated dose is what your muscles need to wake up and respond. Let me tell you about my friend Viola. She is 91 and one of the sharpest, most graceful women I know. But a few years ago, she started struggling to lift her grocery bags. Her doctor told her to exercise more, but that was not the real issue. We looked at her breakfast: toast, fruit, and black coffee, no protein, no fuel. She made one change, added 2 eggs and a side of yogurt every morning. Within a month, she said, "I feel strong again. I feel like myself." That is the power of feeding your body what it needs, when it needs it. And here is one more tip. Eat your protein after your mobility routine. Moving first improves blood flow to your muscles, making them more responsive to the protein that follows. So move, then fuel. And remember, avoid starting your day with high sugar foods, sweet cereals, muffins, fruit juices. They give you a quick rush, but then crash your energy and interfere with fat burning and brain clarity. You do not need a bodybuilder's diet. You do not need fancy powders or expensive meals. Just real food, real protein at the right time.
Because when you feed your strength, you feed your independence. You feed your ability to rise from your chair, to reach that top shelf, to carry your grandchild, to walk into the world tall and steady. And that, my dear friends, is worth far more than any number on a scale. So tomorrow morning, before you sip your coffee or reach for toast, ask yourself, am I feeding my strength or just my habit? Your muscles are still listening. Give them what they need, a morning that loves you back.
Final thoughts. Living your best life at any age. So there you have it, 5 simple things. A glass of water, a few minutes in the morning light, a quick tune-up for your beautiful mind, gentle movements that respect your body, and a breakfast that feeds your strength. No prescriptions, no gimmicks, just small, powerful choices made every morning.
I am 94 years old today. I still sweep my porch. I still write in my journal. I still laugh out loud with my great-grandkids. And I believe, deep in my bones, that you can feel strong again too. Not by changing everything, but by changing your mornings. Your body is still listening. Your mind is still blooming. And your life is still worth showing up for with energy, clarity, and grace.
If this video touched you, I would love to hear from you. What habit will you try first tomorrow morning? Leave me a comment. I read every single one. And if you know a sister, a friend, a neighbor who needs this message, share it with her. We are never too old to grow, never too late to feel better. And next week, I will be sharing the evening habits that help me fall asleep naturally without a single sleep aid. So hit that subscribe button if you have not already. Until then, may your mornings be gentle, your steps be steady, and your heart feel light. With love from one wise woman to another.